Good morning, Picasso pups. Today we're going to be making a printed castle that is in the style of Paul Klee. I hope you had a chance to look at the slideshow of his work. He's an artist that has a very famous painting called Castle and Sun, and it is in the slideshow. On the wall, if you click his painting on the wall, you will get the slideshow of some of his work, and look for the one that's called Castle and Sun. So my materials today, I've got a few different things. What I did is I found a piece of cardboard in our recycle bin, and I made a few different sizes and pieces of cardboard. We want to try to keep one of the edges to be kind of clean. This one's got tape on it, so I'm going to kind of peel that back a little bit. Not sure what that will do to my project, so I'll just pull it right off. So I've got a big rectangle, a smaller rectangle, a really big rectangle, one that's got a triangle edge as well as a straight edge for a square, and then I've got a square. I also made a triangle just in case I wanted it. So when Paul Klee made his Castle and Sun, he used a lot of different types of lines. He used diagonal lines, which are the lines that go at an angle. Oops, let's flip that over. A line that goes at an angle, like in a triangle. He also used a circle for his sun. He used squares as part of his castle, big squares and little squares. He used all different kinds of vertical, horizontal, and diagonal lines to make his castle. So Miss B has a square, a rectangle, a triangle, a small square. This is a different piece called a rhombus. So what I tried to do is I tried to make my cardboard pieces match kind of those shapes, because those were some of the types of lines that I saw in his Castle and Sun piece. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use our cardboard for a printmaking. So all we have to do, I've got some liquid paint here, so any kind of paint will do. Tempera paint is what I have. And I've got it just in a meat tray, kind of let it spread out a little bit like that so it's not too thick. And I'm going to start by making a horizon line, a horizontal line that goes across my paper like that. So all I'm going to do is dip my cardboard into my paint, just the edge, not dipping the whole piece in there, just the edge, and then I'm going to press it on my paper to make a horizontal line. Now I'm going to try making a vertical line. So I'm going to use this tall piece one more time. I'm going to dip it back in my paint. And don't worry, friends, if you don't have paint, I'm going to show a couple different ways to do this project. So this is a up and down line. So this is going to be a vertical line. That's going to be the tallest part of my castle. I'm going to put a top on that. I'm going to use a diagonal line to make a triangle top. So I dipped my cardboard in the paint, and I'm just going to press it on there to make two diagonal lines. I'm going to add another vertical line. I need to get my smaller piece. Notice I've got a messy mat down, friends, because whenever we use paint, we always want to make sure we have a messy mat. So I'm going to try to use a variety of lines, both horizontal and vertical, to make my castle. Castles usually have some little turrets and different parts to them. There's a handout in the Bitmoji classroom that gives you all the details of a medieval castle. So if you liked castles and you want to learn more about it, you can check out that resource. It's going to be on the Bitmoji classroom. So I made some horizontal lines. I've made vertical lines. I'm going to make some more diagonal lines. I'm just tipping my cardboard piece to make diagonal lines. Those diagonal lines turn into triangles, don't they? I'm going to use I had these bottle caps. I thought maybe I would try these for some windows. So I'm going to take my bottle cap, I'm going to dip it in my paint, and I'm going to put a window here, a round window. If you notice that you're running out of paint, just dip it back in there. So there, I've got some windows now. I think I need like a flag, right? Don't castles usually have a flag or something? I can't remember. I know I need a door, so I'm going to use my small piece again and make another vertical, vertical, and horizontal line for my door. You can add as many lines to your castle as you want. It does not have to look like Miss B's. It can be your very own creation of a castle. So there's really no wrong way to go about this. So once we've got our castle print done, our next step is going to be, once it's got to dry, so we're going to leave it to dry for a few minutes, and our next step will be to use our watercolors, or if you've got temper cakes at home, those work great too. We kind of want some transparent paint here, and what we're going to do is carefully paint our castle. You can use whatever colors you like. You are the artist. It is your choice. So even though mine's not dry, I'm going to go ahead and show you. Oh, look, the blue and the yellow mixed together and made green. Cool. Well, I know that Castle in the Sun has a really important thing up in the sky, and that is the sun. So I'm going to go ahead and paint that with my paintbrush. And I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm just going to leave it as a circle, kind of glowing there. I'm going to add a little bit of orange around it, so I'm going to mix a little bit of red and a little bit of yellow and make some orange in my palette here. Got to wake these paints up, they're sleeping. I'm just going to add a glow of orange around that so it makes the sun look really hot. Notice that I'm rinsing my brush out in between colors. Because if you don't, when you mix all three colors, you're going to generally end up with brown, which there's nothing wrong with brown. If you want a brown castle, you're just going to mix your red, yellow, and blue. So I'm going to continue with my watercolors until I have painted in my castle. And again, if you let your printing part dry down longer than Miss B did, I'm doing it very quickly so you can get the whole demonstration. You'll have good luck. And it's okay if your brush touches your print lines, no big deal. I'm going to make some purple. So I'm going to take my blue and I'm going to take some magenta.
All. Just a reminder that if you are wearing teal today, in support of one of our staff members,
Mrs. Stuff is making an announcement right during my video, so you can hear Mrs. Stuff's voice.
Staff picture, please mask up, and we will meet near the TV at 11 o'clock this morning. And we look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
So the teachers get announcements just like you guys do from Mrs. Stuff. It's always good information, always important to listen to her announcements so you know what's happening, right? Because she's always got good information to share. That's why she makes such a great principal, because she shares good information with us. So I've made some purple. Oop, now it kind of looks blue, so I think I'm going to add a little more red to it. Because when we mix red and blue, we're going to get purple. There's a little better. Almost done painting the inside of my castle. And again, you can use whatever colors you want. I'm going to paint my sky. Painting my sky blue. I kind of like, one of my favorite things about watercolors is how when you bump the colors up next to each other, sometimes they make new surprise colors that are even better. than what you imagined. If you want your watercolors to be a little lighter, you just add more water. If you want them to be a little more intense, less water. That's how you make them lighter. You really don't need to use the white paint in your watercolors because you're able to do everything you need to do just by controlling how much water. Now I went over that again so it would be a little darker blue. And then down here at the bottom, I guess I'll make some green. So I'll take my blue, I'm gonna get some yellow. Notice I'm rinsing my brush out in between so I don't mix my paints in my paint pot. I'm gonna mix them down at the bottom. That kind of ended up like teal, didn't it? A little bit of turquoise, a little bit of green. And what color shall we make the door? Let's make it yellow. That yellow, or green, that will kind of make our eye sort of follow around the colors that we've got here. The only thing I did not make was a flag, but I think I'm pretty satisfied with my castle. So that's how we do it, using our recycled cardboard. Just go to your recycle bin, take a few different sizes of cardboard, and you just need a little tray of paint, and you're ready. Now, I'm going to show you 2 other ways to do this project, Picasso Pups, just in case you don't have the right materials.